What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1, day 1 of the Limitless Training Bootcamp. The time is now. That is today's theme. I've been excited to make this series. I've been wanting to make this series for a long time. A lot of people have asked me to make a step-by-step series or a bootcamp or mastermind, whatever you want to call it, basically detailing A through Z about trading from beginner to advanced, my whole strategy, detailing it, the ins and outs, all of it. And you're finally going to get it. This is going to be a 14-day series. 14 episodes, and I'm going to be putting everything into it that I can, every bit of knowledge, every bit of value that I can, because I want to turn you profitable. I want to take you from wherever you are right now and elevate you to an even better trader. You know what that means, right? If you're unprofitable, I want to turn you profitable. If you're already profitable, I don't even care if you're profitable right now. If you're profitable, this series is still going to apply, because if you're profitable right now, first off, good job. I do care, but I want to elevate you even more. Whatever your win rate is, whatever your level of consistency is right now, I want to add another 20-30% positively to that, genuinely. And I really think that if you watch this series in its entirety, it's going to help you. Okay. The theme for today's episode is the time is now. You guys all know what trading is if you're watching this, right? And we don't need to cover, okay, the first day in the history of trading, what happened, and go over the history and all of that stuff, all the boring stuff, right? You guys know what trading is. This is going to be a very practical and a very critical bootcamp for you, because the age of trading that we're living in right now is presenting so many opportunities. I don't think a lot of people realize. And it's getting, the world and just our environment overall is getting to a place that trading and the skill of trading is becoming so much more valuable. Why? Think about what's most prevalent right now that's advancing. AI, right? You have a lot of things changing right now. There was a post not too long ago, a few days ago, about, I forgot the name of it, but it was an AI software that basically is going to be taking a whole bunch of people's jobs, right? A whole bunch of people who are working right now, and what they do, their day-to-day job description, is going to be taken care of completely by that AI. And it's going to be advancing and advancing and advancing. And all the comments, it was on Twitter, all the comments were all about the same thing. Everybody's saying, learn a skill. We're cooked, right? This is gonna take so many people's jobs. And you guys may have already seen that stuff on Twitter. Just that alone, right? Trading was already and has already been a valuable skill. But just that alone, in this day and age, we're in 2026, right? There's probably a good percentage of you right now who are working a job who your job will be phased out. And it's the reality of the situation. I want everybody to know that trading is one of the most valuable skills to develop, because guess what? Trading cannot be replaced 100% by AI. Yes, maybe at some point in time we'll use AI to aid us, right? But human discretion will always be superior. And trading provides so many opportunities that even in this day and age that we're advancing into, where it's getting taken over by AI, if you could think about it from two different ways. Like I said, human discretion will always be the top dog, right? AI will not replace us. And let's just say for whatever reason it does, right? Then great. Then we'll all be making money with AI, right? Then there won't be need for us to make decisions, which we will, right? Human discretion, like I said, is always going to be king. But it just goes to show you trading is such a valuable skill to learn. I want every single person to realize that, whether you're starting out, you're a beginner, whether you're already been trading for 5 years, you can't get any sort of progress, or you've been profitable for 5 years, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. I want every single person in here to realize that if I can do it, anybody can, right? And through this whole entire bootcamp, you guys have heard my story. You guys have heard my strategy to an extent, right? But with this whole entire bootcamp, and over the past few years of me being able to mentor and teach a whole bunch of people and turn a lot of people profitable, I've been able to gain the whole bird's eye view of the most common mistakes that people encounter in trading. Not only from myself and my own personal experience, but just by daily speaking with, teaching, and live trading in front of people, mentoring people, I'm able to see it firsthand. And guess what? It's no different than the struggles that I encountered and I went through firsthand. And I'm just seeing it at an elevated scale. And it's every single person. Because guess what? Nobody starts out trading knowing how to trade and automatically profitable. Ever. Okay? If anybody has ever told you that, it's a lie. Everybody goes through the same struggles. Some might take longer on that journey than others. Some might struggle on one aspect more than the next. It's just the way it is, right? With this first episode, I want to set the tone. I want to set the foundation. I want to prepare you. I want to motivate you. And I want to put you in the best place to succeed. Now, when I say I want to motivate you, I want to add to the motivation that's already within you. If you need motivation to trade, or you're on the fence, or whatever the case may be, but if you need somebody else to motivate you to want to actually put in the effort to trade, then this series isn't going to be for you. I should not have to, I want to add to your motivation. I don't want to create the motivation. Why? I can create all the motivation I can in the world for you. But ultimately, if that motivation doesn't reside or originate inside of you, it's not the place to be. And that's just the honest truth. Every single one of you watching is here for a reason and likely has that motivation inside of you. You want to take this skill and you want to run with it. You're in a place right now that you genuinely can't see anything else but trading. You know that you are not only made for this, but this is something that is right down your alley, will literally change your life in every single aspect possible. But the thing is, majority of you watching this are probably in that place of struggle. You've been over trading. You've been just wasting your own time. You've been making the same mistakes. And you know that basically your biggest enemy is yourself. That's usually how it goes. Ultimately, you can look up a strategy on YouTube. You can watch a bootcamp just like this. You can take the blueprint that's provided to you, and it will mean nothing, absolutely nothing, if you can't put in the work to actually make it happen, to succeed. I want every single person who watches this, I need you to watch this the whole way through. I need you to. You can split it up if you have to use the bathroom, you gotta go to work or whatever. Save it for later, sure, but make sure you pick it up. I'm gonna be putting in so much effort into this, and I want you to pay attention, okay? You cannot watch this series passively. You cannot just put it around, on your TV or something for background noise or whatever. I don't know why you would use me for background noise, but you don't do that, right? I want you to be intentional in every single video in this series. I need you to pay attention. I need you to realize that this is serious, and I need you to take the information I'm giving you. And I'm literally speaking to you at a personal level. I understand. I don't know your name, that, whoever's watching this right now, I don't know your personal name, but if you're anything like me and how I came up with trading and making the same mistakes that I did, and have been in that place of depression or more so hopelessness, where you feel like you're about to give up, you feel like trading just might not be for you, you're on your last chances, your last evals, your last account, your last dollars trying to trade, whatever the case may be, right? But you're just overall in a place of struggle, right? I could go on for hours as to what type of struggle it could be within trading, right? But you're overall just in a place where you need help. Let me help you. Help me help you. Okay? Because I would not be doing this and putting in the time into each episode if I didn't genuinely want to turn you profitable. Okay? So pay attention to every single episode. And not only that, before we even get started, this is something to set the tone, to set the foundation, because I need you to realize that the time is now. That's the title, yes. But you're not getting any younger. We're only getting older. The clock is continuing to go, whether we like it or not. We can take a rest day. We can take a vacation, whatever the case may be. Take a day off from whatever you're doing. Does the day stay the same as it was the day before? You take a day off, is it still, you start to take a day off Tuesday, you rest, relax for a whole day, is it still Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday. Time passes by whether we like it or not. It sucks, but it's the reality of the situation. Everybody has the same 24 hours, and I know you've seen other people utilize their 24 hours, the same 24 hours that you have, and you're seeing them be successful. And you're like, why can't it be me? Why can't I be doing that? You can. Are you utilizing those same 24? Nobody has an advantage over the next person. You might think, oh, this person was born into money. They a trust fund baby. They have this, blah, 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 blah. You might compare yourself to other people, judge other people online. Who cares? If they started with an account with $2 million and you started with 50, who cares? Guess what? You're both at the same knowledge level. Sure, they might get to the end goal quicker, right? Because they have money to trade with, right? They're not building their account up, whatever the case may be. But the problem with a lot of people is that they just compare themselves to others too much. We have, at the end of the day, when it comes to trading, the playing field is set. It is level for every single person. Are you going to take advantage of the opportunity you have and actually take advantage of the time that you have? The same 24 hours that everybody else has? Or are you just going to waste time? I've wasted time before. I wish I didn't, but I've wasted time before and I regret it a lot. Who knows what I could have done in the time that I wasted before, right? And you've probably thought about the same thing. So I need you to realize that when it comes to trading, any type of action or change or initiative that you need to take, it needs to happen as soon as possible. Genuinely. You can't say, I'm going to wait till, a few months so I can start watching these YouTube videos. I'm too busy right now. Yes, everybody has their own schedules, right? Like I said, we have the same 24 hours, but you might be busier than the next person. So you might be thinking, well, that's a disadvantage for me. I don't have as much time as the next person to learn. Yes. But how are you going to make up for that? That's on you. We all have schedules. We all have lives, right? I had to learn that. I would be like, dang, I don't have no time to learn. I'm working all day. I don't want to burn out. I want to jump off a bridge. So at first I was like, well, maybe I'll watch a YouTube video here and then I'll work on that tomorrow, whatever. I only started to see progress when I was actually putting in the work and the effort every single day. After I got off work, during work, I'd be watching the market. After work, I'd be watching videos. I'd be back testing. Only then when I was actually putting in the work, yes, my sleep schedule suffered. I was very, very locked in to the point I didn't do anything else. You don't have to go that hardcore, but you just have to be in it to win it. You have to be in it for the long haul, right? You have to make use of your time in the most efficient way possible. You cannot wait till tomorrow. If you are watching this video right now and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pause this. I'll watch this tomorrow. Oh wait, but I have to do this tomorrow. So then I'll watch it Sunday before I start work on Monday, right? It's never gonna happen because then Sunday night, you're going to be watching the NFL playoffs. You're going to be doing something else, right? I'm going to be watching the NFL playoffs, right? But I'm at a point where I'm profitable. I'm going to put in the work for the series, right? But back then, I couldn't really do that. I had to sacrifice a lot of stuff, right? I had to sacrifice my time, my energy, a lot of my just mental capacity, not sacrificing it in a bad way, but leveraging it and putting my entire effort, every bit of energy I had into learning, into trading, into just pushing and just letting myself know that a new day was going to be my chance. It was a new day tomorrow. If I fail today, I'm going to make sure I prevent that mistake for tomorrow. A new day was going to be my chance. You're not a lost cause. If you're here and you want to learn, you're here for a reason. Why watch half of this video and then never watch another video of the series again, right? I don't care if it gets 1 million views, 10 views, 100,000 views. I really couldn't care less. As long as every single viewer of that video actually utilized it correctly. That view is meaningless if whatever YouTube, what's the word? Whatever YouTube uses for like tracking that stuff, like a minimum amount of time counts as a view. That's meaningless if somebody didn't actually gain the true value of it. That's the truth. I don't care if you, like I said, I don't care about the metrics in that standpoint. I just care that whoever's watching this right now, you personally are hearing what I'm saying and are understanding what I'm saying. You can put this, if I'm talking too slow for you, can put this in 2 times speed. If I'm talking too fast, you can put it in 0.5. I don't care. Whatever you need to do, right? But ultimately, we all need to get over our weak attention spans. to be able to actually gain the value of something like this. Okay. I'm speaking to you from the heart. You can't lag around and you can't sit around anymore. You can't say, oh, I need a rest day today and tomorrow. The next day too, I need to relax. I can't be thinking about this right now. I'm too stressed out. Yes, you need to pace yourself. I get it. I need to do that. I need to recognize and have that moment of self-reflection. But ultimately, you know what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of, and you know when you're putting in your best effort and when you're just barely cutting corners. You're doing the bare minimum. You can't do the bare minimum with trading. Other people who want it more than you are going to do laps around you, circles around you. You've probably seen it already. You probably started trading the same time that somebody else started trading. Maybe let's say a year and a half ago, you guys both started trading around the same time. And that person is profitable now and you are not. And you're probably like, well, I love them, but how? They're basically a carbon copy of me. How? I'm doing the same things that they're doing. How? They simply just want it more than you. And yes, you probably heard that before from some cliche motivational TED Talk video on Instagram or whatever. It's the truth. They just want it better, more than you. They want it so bad that it's all they can think about. Do you want it just as bad? It's the truth. If you want something just as bad, you will do what it takes to get to that point. It's not a guarantee, right? Where, for example, like you go to the gym and you go and if you go for a year straight, you're going to see your results, right? It's not the same sense as that, which a lot of people are turned off to that, right? They're like, why can't I know for a fact that a year from now I'll be profitable or 6 months from now I'll be profitable? That's just not how trading works. If it was, I'm sure it would be a whole lot easier for people from a mental aspect at the beginning. It's just not the way it works. Okay. You have to realize that you put in the reps, you put in the effort, you're going to see the results. But what it falls on is you, right? You can go to the gym passively to an extent and still see results, right? You can't learn trading passively. You have to be active and intentional about every single thing that you're learning, right? You have to. You can't watch this video and zone out and then come back to earth and then expect to gain the full value. Or any video. I don't care. It doesn't have to be this video. It could be any video. It doesn't even have to be informative. It could be some entertainment video, and I don't care, right? You're not going to enjoy it to the fullest extent if you're just zoning out while watching it, right? You have to be intentional about everything that you're doing. The time is now. It's the truth. I've seen this video, the title in the same video for starts of Bootcamp, and I was like, oh, everybody has that. But actually, I understand why. Because the message is true. It's just the way it is. You can't waste time. You can't burn time. Time, the clock, everything is going to continue going with or without you. If I died in my chair right now, the world keeps spinning. Time continues. Okay? I could spend the rest of my day sitting down, doing nothing, scrolling on my phone, or I could be spending my time right now making this video for you. Right? You choose how you spend your time. You choose what decisions you make ultimately. And if you want trading bad enough, you will find what you need to make you a better trader. Whether it's this, whether it's getting mentored, whether it's watching 15 different series, whether it's backtesting for 3 hours tonight, whether it's backtesting all day tomorrow, I don't care. You know what's going to get you to that point. And if maybe you're thinking, I actually don't know, like I know I want this, but I'm new to this. I don't know how to get there. Well, I'll show you, but you know the effort that's required. That's the difference. You may not know exactly the steps to get there. I will show you in the series, but you know the effort that's required. If you miss the mark, you're not going to get there. And maybe you'll get there at some point, but it's going to be extremely delayed. Or you're going to hit a whole lot more bumps along the way, a whole lot more problems, and it's just going to increase your potential for quitting. It's possible for everybody, but ultimately, everybody has a choice to quit. Where and when in their journey to quit. So for you, I need you. I'm not going to cry tears right now or tell you, the entirety of, I've already told you guys my journey, right? I'm not going to go through every single step, but what I will tell you is that when I speak to you, I'm genuinely speaking to you from the heart, because I was literally in the same spot as you. I feel like I have the same story as like a lot of other people, because I feel like everybody's story is similarly, right? Some outliers might be somebody who maybe did have immediately, maybe their parents traded and maybe traded. I've heard stories like that, right? Maybe people's journeys are a little bit different, right? But majority of people, including myself, all started out the same way. They hear about trading on social media, or usually social media, like on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, whatever. And they explore it. I'll be like, okay, that looks pretty cool. Like, oh, they see the money part, the aspect, that's what draws them in, right? I see somebody make 20K in a day. Oh my God, I want to do that. It takes me almost a year to make 20K. It takes me half a year to make 20K. It takes me to the quarter of the year to make 20K, whatever position you're in, right? You automatically see that number and you're comparing it to what you make. And you're like, I want that. That's what draws you in, right? That's what drew me in. Saw people in COVID making $100,000 in 2 days. I was like, I learned how to trade. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. I was at a point where I convinced myself, like literally, like it was almost like delusion, or like, I don't know what the medical term is for it, but from a medical sense, I feel like I was genuinely like delusional because I was so convinced, like I didn't believe anything else. I was so convinced that if I did the same exact thing that people were doing online, that I was going to make the same exact amount of money, if not more, because I knew I was capable. And I took that feeling and I was like, I need to put this into practice, put this into action, because I know I can do it. The people my age are doing it too right now, and the market's crashing. It's COVID. Oh my God, I can take advantage of all this stuff. I was sorely mistaken, as you could probably guess. But I was so convinced at first. I had a lot of motivation. So much motivation. But I channeled it in the wrong places, the wrong areas. I was working a job, and I was appreciative of it. I'm not, like I said, I was not ungrateful for it, but I hated it. I hated every second of it. I didn't go to college because I didn't want to go to college. I just wanted to get straight into making money in the workforce. I had graduated with my associate's degree the same day I graduated with my high school diploma, because I attended a program where I took like college classes so I could graduate with my associates at the same time. And so that kind of helped me enter the workforce, right? But ultimately, I think I knew that wasn't for me either. Like I knew being able to advance myself instead of putting myself into debt for 4 years of college, my thesis was, okay, I can just immediately make money and then build myself up from a corporate sense, and I could work, there's a lot of remote jobs I could work. And I basically did just that. I laid out my plan and I stuck to it and I actually accomplished it. At 19, I found myself making $95,000 a year, which is crazy. That's unheard of. I know. You're probably like, okay, yeah, you lying. I'm dead serious. Now, I will say along my journey, I started working at 17, started at fast food, and I was basically able to strategically leverage my experience in the right ways and find the right places at the right time to both use my managerial experience at that fast food spot to then get into a place where I was making 40 grand a year. I hated that job so much, but it was a remote job. I was able to leverage that experience to get that job, gain experience under my belt. I was the youngest person at that company, while everybody else had, college diplomas from Princeton, from Duke, right? Like I have an associate's degree, guys, and I would get the same looks from everybody, right? But I worked myself nearly to death every single day. Barely saw the sunshine unless I looked out the window. I'd see it for 5 seconds, go back to work. I'd end at 8. I'd be starting at 8, basically like 8 to 8. Sometimes 7, sometimes a little earlier depending on the day. I hated it. Miserable. I used that experience to then get the next job. It's in the tech space. I was hiring software sales professionals, account executives. They were closing insane deals, right? The people that I was hiring were making 300K OTE a year. Insane deals for their software. And so that also kind of motivated me as well, because I was making 95K as I got promoted, but I was like, man, he about to be making $300,000 a year. That's crazy, right? And I also saw at the same time people online making money, and I wanted the same thing. I knew I could do it. I wanted the same thing. I wanted it so bad, and I would be using the time that I was working to make sure that I made it happen. I fell on my face. I had $12,000 saved up, and I lost it all because I was not doing it the right way. I want everybody watching this to do it the right way. I hated myself. I was miserable. I knew that I was my own enemy and that I was holding myself back. I didn't want to do that for 40 years, for the rest of my life. I was 19 thinking that way. You might be in your 20s, you might be in your 30s, you might be in your 40s, who knows? But guess what? The market doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't. The market's going to do what it does. We listen to the market. We are servants of the market. The market don't care how old you are, but that's a good thing. Why? Because the time is now. It's never too late. The days are going to continue going by. You're going to be just like me, working that job, whatever situation that you're in. And you're going to clock out, whether you're in person or you're online remote. You're going to clear those Teams notifications, those Slack notifications that make you want to throw your laptop across the wall. And it's going to be 7 p.m. And you're going to wish that you had a way out. If somebody were to play the Microsoft Teams notification sound or the Slack sound anywhere near me, I probably have a very bad reaction. I probably have PTSD from that. That's a joke, but I hate those tones from the bottom of my heart. If you are a corporate 9 to 5, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't even want to think about that. It's serious. I need you to take this seriously because you're in that same spot. Maybe you're in a completely different spot. Maybe you have a different journey. Maybe you're completely a beginner. Maybe you're younger than that. Maybe you haven't even started a job, whatever the case may be. I want this series to be valuable for you. And I want you to really learn something from it. If you take one thing from it that changes your trading for the better, I did my job. It's going to be 14 episodes. I don't know how long these episodes are going to be. You're probably like, man, you were yapping. Like, when are we going to get to the point? This is the point. For this episode, this is the point. You need to take this seriously and treat it like a job. You need to stop doing because you know it's holding you back. So you need to stop doing those things and take a break from buying evals or putting money into your account. If you don't know what you're doing, take a break. Give it a rest. Why are you dumping money buying more evals if you don't know what you're doing? At least watch this series the way through first, and you'll see exactly why I'm saying that. But take a break. Stop burning your own money, please. Take a break. Take a rest. Your bank account will thank you for it. You could use that money to get yourself a nice lunch tomorrow, right? But just please take a break because I need you to realize the severity of this. When I say severity, not in a bad way, but more so the gravity and how genuinely serious you have to take it. You have to treat it like a profession. You have to treat it like a career. You have to treat it like a job. I want you to succeed so bad. Like I said, I wish I knew every single person personally from a personal level who's watching this video right now. It may get 10 views, it may get 100 views, it may get 1,000, a million. I don't care. But I really wish I could see every single person and have a conversation with you because I really need you to know that you can do it. Like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I would cut corners through school. I don't even know how I graduated. I'm not gonna lie, but I would cut corners to school. I barely did the work that I needed to, and I did work hard because money was attached to it. I think that was the difference between my career and my work compared to school, because school I wasn't getting paid for anything, right? And I hated it. But with work, with my job, I knew working hard was going to get me more money, right? That's the same thing with trading. The harder you work and more time and effort you put into this skill, you're going to open up your potential reward a whole lot more. So I want you to realize it's possible. I need you to use me as proof, living proof. And if you don't believe it's possible, you'll see by the end of this series why your belief will just grow every single episode. I really want you to be profitable. Like I said, I wish I knew who you were from a personal level. But the people that I personally talk to every single day, that I'm live trading with, or that I'm mentoring, I can see myself in every single one of those people. Because somebody might mention something that they're struggling with, and I can literally recount the exact moment I first felt that in my journey. Or one of the biggest moments that I felt that in my journey. Because like I said, everybody goes through the same thing. It's how people say history rhymes, right? History doesn't predict the future, but it sure does rhyme, right? Like it's the same thing with trading. Like you think about the other people's trading history, what they went through, and you're like, I just went through the same thing yesterday. It's because it's the truth. So actually listen to the people that have been in that position. It doesn't have to be me. It can be somebody else. but listen to the people that have actually been in that position and that can offer some sort of advice. You have to stop being so egotistical, so prideful. If you need to ask a question, ask a question. If you need to replay a video in this, replay the video. Sure, it's going to take some work to find your placement. Save your spot. Save whatever time step you're at. Go back in the video and find it again. Right? This is going to be an important series. I need you to realize the severity. Okay? You know what trading is already. You know, you may have been trading for a few years, maybe a few months. Everybody here is going to be the same. Like I said, it's a level playing field. And in this series, I want to basically show you guys what we're going to be talking about. Day 1. You already know the message. The time is now. This is all going to be phase 1. This is the first part of phase 1. What is phase 1? You might be asking. Chicago, can you tell us? Your foundation and market truth. That is phase 1. That is what you are currently in right now. This episode is to show you and instill in you and just overall inculcate the notion that you need to change whatever you're doing. You need to act right now. I can't motivate you because you have to. I can add to that motivation, but I can't be that original, that source of motivation to where now you start wanting to do things. You should already be motivated enough to change now, to change what you are doing, to actually act. You should want to know, or you should want to do that now. And I want to add to that motivation. So the time is now. You know that it's up to you to actually act. You might be wondering, well, what are we talking about for the rest of this series? I'm interested. Well, allow me to show you. Day 2, which is tomorrow, how the market works. I'm going to teach you exactly how the market works, who moves price, what makes price move from area to area, right? The whole basics, the basis, the logic, everything of how the market works, why price has to interact with certain areas to actually move or reverse or continue, and why that understanding changes everything for you. Because when you can understand that, just that episode alone, probably going to trigger a lot of things in your mind. Like, what? That makes sense. Now I know why I stopped out yesterday. Now I know why I lost the last 3 trades I took. Whatever the case may be, this is going to change a lot for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is going to be tools of the trade. Okay. Now, basically, I'm going to set you up, help you get set with, TradingView, all the softwares that you need, going over prop firms, which prop firms are the best, personal accounts, things like that, right? Why rules protect traders and they don't restrict them. Everything you can think of. The tools that you need to put everything together to be set up and to be ready to use when the time comes. Okay. Now, the next thing is phase 2, which is reading the market. Okay. I need to teach you the behavior of the market before we talk about strategy. Okay. Now, day 4, you probably already see it. Price action. How to read the market just off of naked candlesticks. Candlesticks as the real transactions of what's going on inside the market. Acceptance in the market when price is comfortable trading in certain areas. Why patience beats prediction. Why anticipation is what you need to be ready to do instead of predicting. That's all going to be covered in day 4. Day 5, which is order flow simplified without the noise. You probably heard of order flow. You might be like, oh my God, ew. I'm not talking about the order flow you think of. I'm thinking about the simple view of order flow. A view you've probably never seen before. But I'm gonna talk about what order flow actually represents: absorption, participation, initiative, reaction. If you don't know what any of those things are, if you even know what those things are, you're gonna really understand it a whole lot better in this episode on this day. Why simplified order flow works so much better than the raw data that can just confuse you and just look repulsive on your screen. The simplified view of that, talking about the advantages of that, and why overcomplication ruins traders. That's going to be covered in day 5. Day 6, the areas that actually matter. Why location is so important in the market. How it adds and refines to your entries. It refines your entries. High participation versus low quality areas. Areas in the market that are really going to boost your win rate. Liquidity, what's real liquidity? What's the order concentration in a certain area? How many participants? Why waiting is important. Patience, why waiting is your edge. Why patience is going to save you in so many different scenarios, right? That's going to be in day 6. And then phase 3, your strategy and execution. Now this is where the good stuff comes. Okay. Day 7. Where did I put day 7? Day 7. Okay. Day 7 and day 8. My trading philosophy and strategy. It's going to be an important one. Now, I've made videos on my strategy before, but here I'm going to be piecing everything together as to why it supports and is based off of how the market works. Why simplify order flow, why price action together make for a golden strategy and approach. Reversals versus continuations. When you should trade versus when you should not. All of that's going to be covered. And then day 8, confirmation and invalidation. Just the overall entry logic. We're going to be removing over trading and ambiguity. It's from a high level, we're going to be removing all the bad things that contribute to you losing your trades. Okay. Why entries are confirmation based and not signals, as a lot of people view a lot of things in the market. Why invalidation is really important, what it actually means, and how price action can confirm order flow, right? It's a 2-level, well, I won't get too far into it, but it's a 2-level system, right? That's super important, that support one another. And when not to trade, even at the best areas in the market, is super, super important. Okay. Day 9, which is risk management and high win rate. Now, some people prefer a low win rate and a high risk to reward. Some people prefer a high win rate and a low risk to reward, whatever the case may be. But what we're going to be talking about is defined risk versus random stops, when you can actually see how much you're going to lose consistently, not random or so fluid. It could be fluid, but so fluid that your consistency is all over the place, right? Why tight risk works with patience. Super important. Risk per trade versus risk per day. Why discipline enables high win rate system. A high win rate system. Discipline is going to be weaved into everything that you do. It's going to be at the forefront of why you need to practice discipline, not only in trading, but in your daily life. Because what you do in your daily life is going to be bleeding into trading. Okay. Excuse me. And that message is going to be covered across this entire program because it's the truth. And now day 10, psychology. This is, oh my God, this one's going to be very important too. Because a lot of people, if I was to pick one thing that people say that they struggle with the most, it is this. Okay. Control, confidence, emotional discipline, everything. The root causes of fear, anxiety, impatience, all of that. Because through this system, the structure of it, having structure in general is going to create confidence. Walking away after X amount of losses, why that's important. Preventing tilt, revenge trading, over leveraging, over trading, everything that I nearly guarantee if you've gone through, it has affected you in some way or another. That's going to be covered in this episode right here. Day 11, how you can use order flow with any strategy. Why it's possible, why it makes sense, and how you can actually do it with any strategy, especially the major ones that you might be using yourself. ICT concepts, orb, support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever it may be. Order flow could serve as that confirmation, not a replacement, but rather a heightened confirmation to raise your win rate. Okay. And then phase 4, putting it all together and scaling. This is very important. It's like your graduation, if you will. Right. Day 12 is going to be building a real trading plan, step by step, literally. You're going to be turning your knowledge into structure, essentially. We're going to be defining your rules clearly, market conditions that you should trade versus the market conditions you should avoid, your risk rules, your daily limits, your rules to walk away completely from your setup, and just creating consistency through repetition is super, super important. And then day 13, I don't know why I can't see this, scaling, prop firms, and long-term growth. Also very important. It's going to be underrated. Essentially, the goal for this, a lot of people get ahead of themselves. Some people might not like this episode as much as others because a lot of people at the end of the day are greedy. I can tell you, I can give you this blueprint, and you'll be like, oh no, that's too slow, blah blah blah. That's not. But there is a right way of doing things, and a pace that you want to take that is healthy, right? So the one account at a time philosophy, using payouts to fund your growth, rewarding progress, not gambling, and then personal accounts versus prop firm scaling. I have done both. Unlike a lot of people in this space that only trade on prop firms, my most used and the majority of the time that I'm trading is on my personal account, and I have my prop firm accounts as well across a few different firms. So I can speak to both. But the thing is, with this overall, the message will be how to scale correctly. Okay. And then last but not least, we have day 14, which is essentially your graduation from this boot camp to being a profitable trader. The goal is to close that loop, to build confidence, to instill that confidence in you. And just so you know how you can continue to improve after the boot camp, why journaling and just reviewing your habits overall is so important, why trusting the process is going to help you stay grounded, staying disciplined long term, why that's important, and just overall having clarity for your steps moving forward. And then something else to keep in mind, on January 23rd, I'm launching the Limitless Edge, which is my personalized one-on-one mentorship program. Yes, you've probably heard there's a lot of one-on-one mentorship programs that a lot of creators have and YouTubers, but this is genuine. You're not going to be thrown in a group and just told to watch YouTube videos or whatever. This is actually you and I working together to get you profitable. The wait list is down below. We have now entered the early bird program and portion of it. So if you want to get access to exclusive benefits and a lot of content just early before everybody else, so you're prepared, you also have accessibility for that. But when I tell you that this is the one-stop shop, your last stop as an unprofitable trader, or even if you are a profitable trader who has hit a rough patch and you're trying to scale and you just can't seem to scale and you basically hit that plateau phase, this is specifically for you. The Limitless Edge. Like I said, if you want to work one-on-one specifically with me and personally with me, then we will be able to do so. So be sure to apply. And by joining the waitlist, it's not you committing. This is a opportunity for you to essentially see if this is a program that actually makes sense for you. You'll then have a one-on-one, basically a personalized call for you to make sure that it works for you, for your schedule, for your training style, for who you want to be as a trader, no matter where you're at in your journey. You'll be able to figure all that out to see if it's even for you. If you think it's for you, you can think about it a little bit more. If it's not for you, it's not. But like I said, if you're interested in that, it'll be the first link in the description down below. All of this stuff is going to help you guys and build that structure. I want you guys to be excited for this. I want you guys to know that the time is now. If you need that motivation, if you need me to motivate you at all, like I said, there's a difference between me motivating you from the jump and having that origin of motivation in you. You have to have that origin in you already. If you don't feel motivated after watching this, my goodness, please don't watch any more of my videos, please. My goodness. If after watching this, you are just, you don't want to trade, I apologize, but please never watch one of my videos, bro. I can't stress this enough, because there's so many people that will come into trading and they'll be like, yeah, I want to make money with this, and that's it. They just see it as a way to make money. If that's all you see trading as, which yes, that is true. Trading can get you money. It can get you a lot of it. But you will be successful if you value the time and the opportunities that it gives you, right? I know that you're just like me. You want to take care of your loved ones. You want to retire your mom. You want to retire your dad. You want to be able to go to a restaurant and not have to watch what you order. You want to go to the mall and buy something without having to check your phone and open up that banking app. You don't want to, the amount of credit card debt that a lot of people are in, you keep putting stuff on the credit card and you're wondering, I don't know how I'm going to get this money, but somehow I will. You don't have a plan for anything, but you know, despite these circumstances, you know that trading is your way out. It's not easy, but it can provide all of these things. The same feelings that you're feeling right now are the same feelings that I felt not too long ago. I mean, it was over 5 years ago, but I still remember them very vividly. I've been in this game since 2020, since COVID started, because that's when I turned 18. I'm now 23. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and it's been rewarding. It's been a journey. As I think about everything that I've both been through and accomplished, I sometimes can't believe it because I felt like I was a lost cause. You think you're a lost cause. My goodness. I did everything you can think of wrong like 6 times over. I know it took me a while to learn until I was at rock bottom. I don't want you to be at rock bottom. I don't want you to be lying awake at night, staring at your ceiling, and you're trying to hold back tears, and you're like, oh no, I'm too strong for this. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm good. And denying how you feel, basically. And then you're like, you have that moment where you're numb. I don't know what the word is, but it's like you're numb, but you can feel the pain so bad at the same time. I don't even know if that makes sense, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Where it's like you feel like you failed yourself. And I don't want you to be in that point of being at rock bottom to where you want to quit and you leave such a great opportunity all because you just didn't do it the right way or you didn't have that guidance. So if I can positively impact you in that way, I will. I will try my best. I'm not saying that this system is going to make you $1 million tomorrow. No system is going to make you instantly profitable. It's going to take time. It's going to take change, and you have to change now. If you're the type of person that you're a creature of habit and you just can't stop, you're addicted to something right now that you know is holding you back from excelling in life, progressing in life, but in trading especially, you have bad habits that are holding you back from a multitude of different ways in your life, a multitude of different things in your life, and you're just not stopping it. Or you're like, man, I just can't stop doing this or acting like this or thinking like this or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. And you know it's a problem. You're just sabotaging yourself. We're all capable fundamentally to stop doing something, to choose to do something, and to have self-control. Now, as you get addicted to bad habits or whatever the case may be, it'll be harder to break them, but it's still possible. You don't understand the power that your mind can hold. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a professor, a doctor, whatever, but just think about what you're capable of doing by using 100% of your mind. It sounds cliche, but by putting your mind to something, by actually putting in your full effort and thinking about something logically, being intentional. I've said that so many times in this, but my life outside of trading and in trading completely changed. And I always see the difference night and day when I'm actually intentional with what I'm doing. I'm actually actively thinking about the things that I need to do right. I'm actually thinking about, okay, when I'm in trading, I'm thinking about everything I need to, the checklist I need to have when trading, all of it. You know what needs to be done. You know that thinking that way and not living life passively or trading passively, that's what's going to get you results. Putting the time and effort, investing in yourself, not trying to take the easy way out of something. You know that's the right way. I can give you the blueprint and it's not going to mean anything. I can't ultimately force you to press the buttons, to backtest, to study, to watch this. I can't. I can only provide this for you. And you're either going to watch it or you're not. Okay? I know you're capable. I knew I was capable, but I was in such a bad place that I was like, bro, what am I doing? Who am I? I literally asked myself, I'm like, what? I know I'm capable of doing this, but it's like it's like somebody else is controlling me, even though I knew I was controlling myself. I was trying to make every excuse in the book. I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to break this habit. I keep averaging down 6 times. Suddenly my whole portfolio is in this position, right? I kept doing stuff like that until I got burned and I lost my last dollars. And then I quit for 2 weeks. But for those 2 weeks, I was in a great state of thinking and self-reflection. And ultimately it was like, I can't let the market do this to me. I can't let this be my last moments. I need you to be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, and I need you to change right now. This is going to be a very profound and important series, and I need you to take it serious. I love each and every one of you that's watching this video. I appreciate you, and I know you're capable. So go out. Well, not go out, but every single video, go into it and watch it thoroughly. If it's boring, my bad. But I'm gonna keep it real with you, and I'm gonna give you the information straight up. No beating around the bush, no sugarcoating. I'm gonna be straight up with you and tell it like it is, because I would be wasting my own time and I would be wasting your time if I was to just lie to you this entire process. So please pay attention, take notes, do whatever you got to do. But I promise that by the end of this entire series, you will come out a better trader in one way or another. Okay? Like I said, you're capable. The time is now. I need you to realize it. And I need you to want to change right now and be that better person. I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Be ready and be on time. I'll see you next episode.